are back with another Pilates chat, and we have our lovely Leila who's come to join us from Inspire today. Leila is a campaigner for inclusive fitness, so we thought it'd be great to get her in to talk a little bit about the fitness industry. So we'll get started. So we're going to just do feet hip width apart, hands down by your sides, a little V, and try not to fall over. We're going to lift up to a heel raise and come back down. Oh, nice. So you can do with your hands all open, big breath in, good. Nice, so can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Inspire and what inclusive fitness is?
Yeah, so I am a qualified personal trainer, and I have a little studio based in Essex, and basically I am trying my best with quite a few other personal trainers based all over the country to remove weight stigma from the fitness industry. And also just make it far more inclusive for people to be able to take part in exercise and movement.
Yeah.
It can be quite daunting, especially if you're just starting out, or perhaps you're recovering from injury, or you don't feel like you fit in the fitness industry. Because gyms are quite daunting, and classes can be quite scary as well. Although everyone's got the same common goal to be there to move their bodies, there's a lot of shame that comes within that as well. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment.
Yeah, no, I love that. Finish this last one for me. My calves are going.
Yeah, my calves are really
We're gonna come into a mini lunge, very small one. Try and balance again. We're going to shift your weight forwards onto that front leg and then lift the back knee up and then slowly lower. Good. Nice.
I'm so used to doing this so quickly.
You're used to going,
yeah.
Not today.
Not today.
No, this is good. Good work for your ankle.
Yeah.
Our little feet are shaking. Okay, so what does that look like then, removing weight stigma from the fitness space?
So it basically it's about so I don't weigh, measure or do any of those kind of aspects with any of my clients. So it's removing that kind of weight analysis, I suppose, from somebody's goals and somebody's mindset, and more focusing on sort of things like their balance, their mental health, and like overall health as one, because we've kind of got this illusion that thin equals healthy and fat equals unhealthy, whereas
switch those legs for me.
We can't scientifically you can't draw a conclusion from that, and from those aspects. Oh my goodness, these are so hard.
We can hold hands.
Yeah, we can hold hands.
Good. I find that so interesting because I know we've spoken about this before. I'm like your stereotypical thin person who does fitness. My heart rate is ridiculous because I don't do any cardio.
Yeah.
And you would never tell, so I'll go to the doctors about something.
Yeah. And
they would never ever say, "Are you exercising?"
Yeah.
Because I look like I am.
Or they may never even ask to weigh you.
No, I've never been weighed at the doctors.
So whereas people in larger bodies, in fat bodies, and I use the word fat in a descriptive way, not in a derogatory way, people have found that they come across more barriers than what a thin person and white person does.
That's true.
So for me, it's about creating a safe space and environment for people, regardless if I one-to-one with them or if I do, my glutes on fire, one-to-one or classes, whatever I do for them. And I think that shows them the age range that I kind of teach. I teach anything from sort of a young girl that's in her 20s, all the way to 74, my oldest client is.
And traditionally the fitness industry, like your mid-20s, right?
Yeah, and all the goals are set around things like weight loss, looking aesthetic. It's also aesthetic based, and it's making people realise that there's more to health than meets the eye, quite literally. And it's about people, you know, realising that actually your overall health is about your sleeping, your nutrition, like your stress levels, you know, the way that you feel in yourself, the amount of social interactions that you're having. All of these aspects affect somebody's overall well-being. So,
that's so true.
Yeah, so along with a couple of other PTs and stuff, we're all kind of working to more of a more inclusive fitness industry, and it's happening, but it's
not going to be overnight,
very
is it?
slow, very slow.
Because the fitness industry thrives on telling you you're not good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And telling you need to look like the next person.
And I always say to people, it's not sexy to sell non-weight loss stuff.
Yeah, true.
Like
oh, look at this bone density.
Ooh, look how much like better your heart will pump.
Yeah,
that's not sexy. Like selling
like
those before and after photos to people was far sexier than going, oh, do you know what, you're going to be able to run after your grandchildren when you're 94.
Right.
You know, like, it's not sexy to sell that, and it's what the fitness industry has always been conditioned to sell.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's different, but more people coming around to the idea of working on themselves. I think
like holistic health.
Holistic health, and I think COVID really helped with that, because when we were all locked in and could only go out once a day and everybody was out going for a walk, you know, people started to realise how much their well-being was everything that they did.
Yeah.
So
we were more open about our mental health at that time, weren't we? And how when you couldn't go out, that daily walk was like the saviour. Wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you're right, it was a pivotal moment.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, that worked brilliant for me and the business and stuff, and more people were training than ever, and all different abilities, sizes, shapes, ages, genders.
People that wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable in a gym where you're being shown
Yes. Yeah. And traditionally, again, like I was having a conversation with a lady today who wants her mum to do some exercise, but conditionally she's like, oh no, I can't go to see a PT. And it's like, I'm not that PT that's going to, she won't come and see me because she thinks that traditionally, it's that, you've got to get down and give me 10 burpees.
You know what I say, burpees are banned.
Burpees are banned.
We are going to do some squats next though, I'm sorry. So
I can handle squats, I can handle squats.
Oh, you're so much better than me.
I'm only a little bit lower. I've been working on these for a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're giving me a good goal to get my form the same as you. But I find this so fascinating because the fitness industry I felt quite excluded from with my fusion.
Yeah.
And I know it's in a very different way. I'd feel 100% comfortable going into a gym in terms of people looking at me. I know some people aren't with their scars.
Yeah.
I love my scarf. I can't have breath to this. But I can't join in with everything. I've been in gym classes where, you know what, some fitness instructors aren't very good at adapting.
They don't, and they can't progress and regress. A lot of instructors find it hard to progress and regress exercises. And for people with scoliosis, it's scary. I've taught quite a few clients who have got scoliosis and have come to you for like, can you just remind me of stuff? You know? But a lot of times, if you're taking part in a class, that teacher, that instructor hasn't got the time to spend with you, to correct you, to make sure that you're doing it right, to make sure that you're safe. Like, you know, when you've got 20 in a class, it's difficult.
Last one. And I think that must be a huge part of what we're both doing is like building confidence. Because if you've been in a group class for years and years where you're pushed out, you can't join in. Of course, when you try something new, it's going to be so much.
So much harder. And I think the thing is as well is I think a lot of the fitness industry often doesn't know things like scoliosis, although it's quite. It's very common, maybe not as much as fusions are, but scoliosis as a general, and it's only because, you know, I've met you and I've had clients with scoliosis. I've taken the time to be like, right, okay, what do I need to learn about, you know, how it's going to impact you, how it's going to impact your movement. I remember I had a client, and as she squatted, she used to come up like a wiggly worm because she can't come up straight. And I just find it so endearing, and I'm like, I love it. That she could take like
stretch. Do one for over.
Is
that good?
That's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, it was, and it's just little quirkiness like that. But it's about making people feel comfortable
Yeah,
doing
and
that.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
perhaps in a fitness class where you didn't have time, the instructor would be like, stand straight, sort yourself out, and you're like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told that so many times when I'm doing like crunches, and then they're like, push higher. I'm like,
I can't go any further.
Yeah, so it is hard, but it's so important to be doing this work and trying to make fitness for everyone, because it's needed for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think as well, there's a lot of I have to come against the
that's alright. Yeah, lean yourself back, girl.
I'm not in I wouldn't say that I'm in a larger body, but you know, I'm in a body that's not as flexible as what other PTs might be in. Because, you know, I've got issues with my hips and stuff, and even that, I sometimes feel like, oh gosh, like that excludes me from stuff, like doing things, you know, and especially with something like a fusion where you can't move in the same way. It's like, I can't do this. Like, you know, and I think
it's frustrating.
It is frustrating, and I think the fitness industry has got a long way to go to be more inclusive. For people, definitely.
Yeah, for everybody. But I think you're right, where the conversation starts to be about actually your health as a whole, and it's fascinating. Like, obviously I'm doing my physio degree at the moment, and I'm learning so much more about organs and joints and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never once been told about, I don't know, I'll come back to bone density again. Never once was that discussed in a class.
Yeah.
And then you learn about osteoporosis, and you're like, oh my god, like if I don't do resistance training, I'm going to really struggle in a few years. Well, a few years. Quite a while. I'm going to really struggle, and it's like you just don't get that education, so it's good to weave that in.
Yeah, and a lot of people, so I have a lot of older client base, and they have a lot of osteoarthritis and stuff like that. And I have a couple of clients who have been with me for a while, and I focused mainly on strength training with them, getting the muscles stronger around those bones, and they're thriving. You know, one of them was saying to me the other day, she was like, "Oh, I could walk up the tube stairs, and I wasn't in pain."
I can't do that.
I know, she's 71. I mean, I can't do that either. Definitely do the lift, and it's things like that, and it's things that you want to be able to do in older age, and there's a lot of barriers. And there's so many barriers from stopping people getting to those to those classes, to those, you know, not only just inclusivity, but things like financial, and especially with the economic climate now, you know, even if you're part of a gym, you know, it's still £30-40, and it's a luxury. It is a luxury. It shouldn't have to be, no.
Oh, speaking of luxury, we get to do some planks.
I knew there was always going to be something.
Right, so we're going to do very, very level 1, start from scratch. So all we're going to do is literally pull your belly button up to your spine.
I tried to do this earlier, guys, and I literally failed so miserably. We were sat literally on the floor laughing our heads off. So I was like, I can't work this out.
Pull your belly button up, suck all its work, and then let it go. Good.
This is a good one, actually.
It's nice, actually.
Yeah, I like this one.
I mean, not that we can see any movement on ourselves, but I can feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it. Squeeze.
Can you actually get your belly button off the floor? No. But we can try.
Totally.
We can try. Right, after this last one, we're going to suck the belly button up, and then we're going to press through forearms, lift your bottom and your shoulders, and come up as well. Oh, perfect. See, I've got an advantage here with my fusion. I can't bend and flop out of it. You've got to work harder.
I've got to work a lot harder.
And then you can come all the way down. Try not to flop your back. Nice.
Oh.
Go on, let's do a couple more. Lift up. I won't try and talk to you whilst you're doing these.
Can't breathe and talk.
I know better. Try and make sure you're breathing out on the hard work. That always seems to help. Ooh. Go on, 2 more. Lift.
You said 2 more 2 minutes ago.
Did I?
2 minutes ago. No, I didn't.
3 more.
That's sound like me. I can't carry them.
Go on, last one. Belly button. Lift. Hold it. Well done. Right, come from here. We're going to push all the way back. Bottom onto your heels. Open up your knees slightly. Let's get into that hip.
Oh.
Have a breather. Well done. Oh dear. So, say that I'm somebody who, for my whole life, fitness has been about aesthetics, and that's all I can think about. If I think about a gym, I'm punishing myself, I'm trying to get a 6-pack. How do I move to a space that's actually compassionate for myself?
I think That's a really hard one.
Sorry.
Because I think it's hard. I think it's hard because we've been so conditioned into that sphere.
Yeah.
But I think it's coming out of that is having, for me, is very much about having resources.
Yeah, that's true.
Understanding what the benefits of different movements are, and understanding what the benefits of you know, things like strength training, like actually finding something that you enjoy. I always say to everybody that like crosses my path, like if you leave me, that's absolutely fine. If you leave me, never leave me. If you leave like my group of my go on my group sessions, that's fine. But go and find something you enjoy. Go and replace it with something that you enjoy. Because I think, like you said, we've really replaced exercise with punishment rather than going, oh, actually dancing around my kitchen and doing some cleaning.
Yes.
You know, we've forgotten that that's movement. Gardening, blimey, that's hard work.
Yeah.
Really hard work. So I think it's about setting, you know, resources in place. There are so many great resources online, books available from people within the Health at Every Size community, or even you know, online and stuff. I'm sure like all the people you guys follow on social media and stuff. And it's finding place through joyful movement. So going, actually, what do I enjoy? And I always say to people, try everything. Even if it's not your bag, just try it. If Pilates is maybe not your thing, but just try it. Give it a go. Try everything. Like, go to a Zumba class, go to a circuit class, go to, I don't know, hula hooping class, a rebound class, a circuit class, and just pick what you enjoy. And I think the thing is as well, we forget that.
I think butt circles.
Oh yeah, big butt circles. These are my favourite. I think also we forget that that's okay to change over time.
That's true.
So you know, like, I'm never going to stay the same in loving strength training. I go on and off it. Like, it was like running. I went on and off it for like the last.
Yeah, I've never found a love of running. Maybe one day.
You know, or cycling or anything. Like, you know, just try it, give it a go. Try and be okay with yourself if you change that. If you're, because like life changes at the end of the day. You're not going to continue liking the same things as what you did like last year or last week. And just knowing that that's okay, rather than going, oh my god, no, I must stick to strength training and stuff. And I think overall, looking at your overall well-being and health, and going, look, you know, am I getting this amount of sleep? You know, what does my nutrition look like? Am I eating nutritionally dense foods? Am I fueling my body for what I'm doing?
And that's a lifestyle change. That's not a fad 12-week diet, is it? That's actually, what do I do that is enjoyable to move? What do I enjoy to eat? What gives me energy?
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the time, again, like, you know, the fitness industry is like, oh, go on this 8-week diet plan, and you're gonna
8-week abs.
8-week abs.
3-minute abs.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think
get fed up with it.
Well, you get fed up with it because it's not consistent. Whereas if you find a balanced way of living and going, do you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week, and this is my time, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and then the rest of the time I'm going to just go, you know, walking the dog, you know, things like that. It was quite interesting actually. A few months ago, probably at the start of the year, I was in so much pain just everywhere. So I had a bad shoulder, I had a bad knee, and I had a really holistic conversation with my osteopath only last week, where I'd go to him weekly. Again, I know the luxury of that I'm in a really fortunate position to be able to do that.
You're a trainer as your job, like you almost need it.
Yeah, so
let's do little Freddy's.
He was saying how he had seen a change because I had been training for myself. So I now go to the gym 3 times a week for myself, go to a strength class. And actually, because I've disassociated it with being my work and it's actually me time, perhaps that mindset and the physical aspects have stopped the pain, which obviously I think obviously relates to you know, your physio.
I could talk about pain all day.
Exactly. So, but it's amazing. So, you know, disassociating exercise with my job and associating it with actually joyful movement that I want to do rather than stuff that I'm doing with clients and stuff. You know, I'm not in any pain. I haven't been in weeks, you know, thankfully. So, yeah, it's quite interesting in that aspect of things.
Yeah, because you're being more compassionate. It's not that fitness is a chore.
No, exactly. So, and I think exercise movement should never be a chore. I think it should always be a choice and a privilege. Yeah. And I think, again, it's about looking at that, going, okay, we're going for, a dog walk today, and that's my form of movement, or I'm doing a 10-minute, session with you guys, and it's knowing when your body feels like it, and knowing and listening and being compassionate towards your body as well. I think this is so important. As time goes on, you learn that. You learn what you need to do to feel better in your body and in yourself. But it does take time. That's a really long-winded answer.
Yeah, make that your last one. No, but that's a fantastic answer, and I think it's just so applicable to anybody who wants to understand how to move for themselves, and whether that's for me where I've got this fusion and I need to move because otherwise I'm going to be stuck in pain, or suppose that's what you had as well, or whether it's that you feel that you've been excluded because you don't look like the fitness industry. If you actually understand the reasons behind the why of movement and the why of looking after yourself, it's just it's a completely different ballgame, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's definitely being compassionate to yourself. And I've got clients, like I said at the beginning, like right at the start, I've got clients who are 24 who might be able to do burpees, but then I've got, well, not burpees, half burpees, because I'm doing full burpees.
I hate burpees.
But that kind of scale of stuff, to where I've got clients who have potentially got fusion, or have got a hip replacement or whatnot, that I just simply take everything down and do step ups with. And it's often really hard to find a place where they don't mention calories, where they don't mention burning off exercise, and go, actually you're here to spend a bit of time with you. But there are some great instructors online, there's some great resources as well, available everywhere. So
there's a lot you can do.
There is
I think we've been quite lucky in that conversation. Like, I think partly because Pilates isn't a stereotypical weight loss movement, so I don't tend to get people that come and say I need to lose, whereas I imagine with like a hip training, strength training, but also I think a lot of the people we see come because they're in pain, and that is their goal. And it's just been really nice actually to find a little space in the fitness industry that's actually, rather than a before and after physically, it's a before and after of I can sit up all day, or like you said, the lady, like I can do the stairs at the tube. My favourite ever one was someone who she presented her cows at a little farm show, and she'd never been able to do it before, and I was like, yes, this is the best day ever. And having those goals that are actually personal for you, that's so much more empowering, and it means that you're going to sustain it because it's personal and it's important to you.
And it's not absolutely. And I always say, would you rather have abs for the summer and be a size 6 for the summer, or a size 10 for the summer, or be able to run around after your grandchildren when you're 94?
It's obvious, isn't it? What are your friends going to remember you more for?
Yeah, exactly. So I always say that to clients. And of course, I still get clients that go, weight loss, like I want to lose weight. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. That's your prerogative. I will not work with you on that. I'll work to make you stronger, healthier, help you move better, be able to pick up your kids, be able to pick up your grandkids, like run after them, be able to go up the stairs without being out of breath, things like that. So I think it's bringing it back to basics, like that basic plank we did.
Yes, exactly. And it's interesting, like people might be told by their doctor that they need to lose weight, for example, with like pregnancy, that's something which can aid a pregnancy. But I do think if rather than sitting there and doing the weighing scales and focusing on that, if you focus on the strength, if you focus on the balance, if you focus on flexibility, those changes in your body might just happen as a side effect. And it doesn't need to be something that you're fixated on, because that doesn't feel healthy.
And it creates bad body image. Just to note on the doctor thing, doctors are given money to refer clients to weight management clinics. So that's why they weigh. So they get the clinic gets money. They're called Q points or something like that. And there is a great campaign by a doctor called Dr. Asher, and they're working towards helping doctors realise that weighing and BMI is not good and the sole reason to be pushing people to weight management, and that there are other ways that they can make healthier, better changes for their health. So
like
that doesn't have to.
Like if I've got no experience in the fitness industry and someone says lose weight, of course that's all you know. It's a number on a scale. If you say if you eat this food it helps your heart, if you eat this food it helps your brain, if you move this way your joints are going to ache less. That's so much more important, isn't it? But it takes time.
And I think as well with the big campaign and the government at the moment with the calorie on menus and whatnot, how that's affecting people's mental health and overall well-being and eating disorders and disordered eating behaviours and all that. It just doesn't help, and I think there has to come a time where we go, okay, hold on a minute, like what is better, adding the calorie on menus or actually people learning and being educated in nutrition and things that are going to fuel them for much longer, not only now but they will then pass that on to their children and whatnot. And I think a big thing missing from that I don't think I learned at school is nutrition. Basic nutrition on what is what, and then being able to make choices from that.
Definitely.
When you're like 14, 15 going out with friends, or maybe a bit younger these days, but then you can make the choices that you want to make and you understand and learn it. And I think that's really, really missing. But I think again that it's all full circle. It comes back to the economic climate that we live in and all that, which is a completely different conversation.
But education should start. I mean, we can do trigonometry, right? That's really helpful. But it would be better if we could learn a bit more about caring for ourselves.
And I think it needs to be part of the conversation with parents and their children about looking after themselves. What are they doing? Are they being able to move? Do they need to go and do some kickboxing or a boxing class, or what do they enjoy? Swimming is a great one for kids as well, and also for adults there's no pain on the joints. It's really great. It's an all over body movement, and I think education is really, really key when it comes to exercise, fitness, movement, nutrition, and everything that goes around with what health might actually mean to somebody.
Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Always finish sessions with a little shoulder shrug. Do you want to do one?
Yeah.
So I can't
sit like that.
Oh, you sit. Do you want a cushion to sit on?
Oh, I know. I sit like this.
Happy?
Yeah. See.
I can't sit like that. I fall back.
You've got a metal rod in your spine. You should be able to sit up.
Oh no, it doesn't happen.
I can do that.
All right. Well,
I have to do this way. No, I can't do it that way. There we go. But see, even for me going to even for me going to like a yoga class, I wouldn't feel like I could go to it because I'm so inflexible. And
but
I've always
been. You should be doing
that.
But
you feel like you can't go because everybody's like in big poses and you're like, I can't even get my legs crossed.
Let's do a big shoulder shrug, big breath in, and let it go, and again shrug, breath and last one.
Should we high five it? That was brilliant.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. And I hope you found that conversation useful.
Yeah, definitely.